Pat Cummins, one of the best modern day cricketer, one of the most successful captains in this era, and a genuine threat with the ball and a handy batsman down the order. In recent times, Pat Cummins has become an indestructible force with his presence in the field, and not only did he win against 1.4 billion people live, he did it twice. But what if I told you that at one stage, Pat Cummins almost declined the Australian captaincy? Well, in today's video, we're going to see the growth of Pat Cummins as a captain and how he came to be one of the most dangerous modern day cricketers in this era. This is WCA. Cue the intro. In cricket, historically, bowlers were never seen as the captaincy material. Almost all the iconic captains in cricket are either batsmen or all-rounders. So during the transition period of Australian cricket in 2017 to 2018, Pat's name would have almost been impossible to be even considered as a potential captain. Now let's not get ahead of ourselves and take a step back and reflect upon Pat's international career starting from 2011. Cummins made his international debut against South Africa at the ripe age of just 18 years old. Though being so young, facing against a world-class side, Pat Cummins came out on top. He became the youngest Australian to pick up a fifer in Test cricket for Australia. He definitely could have had an amazing start with the ball, but unfortunately, Pat Cummins became injured. His injuries were persistent. Mainly his back and foot were almost always injured, resulting in Cummins being out of the Test squad for approximately 6 years of his international career. During the 6 years, though not being part of Australia's Test team, Cummins explored his options in white ball cricket. Though being injury prone from 2011 to 2017, Cummins played a total of 18 T20 internationals and picked up 23 wickets. His economy was the best part, as he only went for approximately 7.32 runs per over. In one-day international cricket, he picked up 35 wickets in 18 matches at 30.70. But due to his injuries, Pat wasn't able to compete much. It is also noted that Pat did get an IPL contract for Kolkata Knight Riders in 2014, who went on to win the IPL that same year. And most importantly, he was part of the World Cup winning Australian squad in 2015 World Cup. Despite his struggles with his injuries, 2017 served as a comeback year for Pat as he was selected in the Test squad for the first time in 6 whole years. He played 4 Test matches, taking 14 wickets at 29.07. Not quite huge, but it did serve as a good way to announce himself back into red ball cricket. As Pat was slowly cementing himself back into the squad, disaster struck.
This is a shocking disappointment.
After viewing Steve and Cameron's hurting, it's only fair that I make this decision.
To all of my teammates, to fans of cricket all over the world, and to all Australians who are disappointed and angry, I'm sorry.
On 2018, during the Test match between Australia vs South Africa, the Sandpaper incident became global headlines. Due to this, Stephen Smith, the captain of Australian cricket team, and David Warner, the vice captain, were banned from any form of cricket for a whole year, alongside Cameron Bancroft. Due to this humiliating incident, Cricket Australia were in a panic to fix their now lost reputation amongst the world of cricket. Cricket Australia appointed Tim Paine as the new red ball captain and the 46th captain of Australian Test team. And eventually, the series ended in a humiliating fashion for Australia as they lost 3-1. But Tim Paine displayed courage throughout the entirety of the series, which was a positive sign for the Australian red ball team. As days passed, Australia still lacked a good vice captain, and Pat Cummins took up this opportunity like the champ he is. Pat Cummins has become Australia's newfound hope in Test cricket alongside Mitchell Starc, where during the 2018 to 2019 cricket season, he delivered multiple match-winning performances, and his teammates respected Pat Cummins for his work ethics and his leadership qualities. As during 2019, he was eventually appointed as the vice captain of Australian Test team and Australian white ball cricket team, and also won the Allen Borden Medal for being the best Australian cricketer of the year 2019. During 2019 to 2021, Pat Cummins upped his game by miles. He had a significant impact in the Australian team's dressing room and had grown enough to come up with his own strategies and field placements to aid the then Australian cricket captain Tim Paine, and most importantly, he had comparatively less injuries compared to his previous cricketing years. Though he had injuries, Pat Cummins fought through it and still participated in matches. But during 2021, just as the Sandpaper incident seemed to have cooled down a bit, disaster struck again. November 2021, Tim Paine was involved in a sexting scandal. Tim Paine and a female Tasmanian cricket employee had a series of inappropriate text messages sent by each other. But although it was consensual, it was a huge damage in reputation-wise for Tim Paine as our Australian captain. He later resigned on November 19, 2021 and expressed deep regret for his actions and is now uncertain what had happened to him. Well, in life, they say when a door closes, another door opens, and that is exactly the case for Pat Cummins. As Paine resigned as a captain, just days before the 2021 Ashes, Australia needed a captain and they needed one quick, and enter the era of Pat Cummins, officially announcing him as the 47th Cricket Australia's Test team captain. But during this announcement, Pat Cummins was very uncertain whether he has the right call to be the captain of Cricket Australia or not. He knows that fast bowlers had a lot more to do than batsmen, and he was very self-conscious about his body and his physical conditions. But even though the challenges were thrown at him, he accepted it like a champ he is. As always, many questioned this choice as he was primarily a bowler and had little to zero captaincy history. But they later turned out to be wrong, as Australia retained the Ashes of 2021 to 2022, with Cummins playing a crucial role with his captaincy and bowling. And it was not just any victory, it was a massive victory for Australia as they defeated England 4-0. This announced Pat Cummins as a legitimate captaincy material. After this, Pat Cummins became a threat we know of today. 2022 was a good year for Pat Cummins. Though Australia lost the Border Gavaskar Trophy, they continued to perform well in the other series as Pat Cummins and Australia paved their way forward for a spot in the WTC final. 2023. Well, 2023 was just the year of Pat Cummins. First, he drew the Ashes 2-2 against a new brand of English cricket called the baseball, as the draw led to Australia retaining the Ashes. And now it's June 2023, at Lord's, the home of cricket. The World Test Championship final against dominant Indian side in their second run as the finalist in the World Test Championship. Pat Cummins accepted the challenge and knocked out India for the second consecutive time, crowning Australia as the World Test Champions. The celebration doesn't stop there though, as Pat Cummins would later lead Australia as a captain for the first time in a Cricket World Cup, and Australia ended up losing 2 of their opening games on the trot, and experts counted them out of the World Cup. But come on, it is Pat Cummins we're talking about. This man does not give up that easily. As the tournament progressed, Australia later won all of their 7 remaining games, qualifying in the top 4, and during the second semi-final in a low-scoring affair, Pat Cummins and Mitchell Starc stood tall at the tail to guide Australia home for the win. November 19, 2023, the day no Indian fans may never forget. Pat Cummins came to the ground after making one of the most diabolical press conference statements of all time.
In sport, there's nothing more satisfying than hearing a big crowd go silent, and that's the aim for us tomorrow.
And after winning the toss, he chose to bowl on what seemed like a batting-friendly wicket and proceeded to silence 1.4 billion people just like that. This cemented Pat Cummins as a modern-day great and a name to fear in modern-day cricket. Nobody comes to India and humiliates India like that and lives to see another day, but Pat did. He stood tall and won in our own soil, and that's the moment, ladies and gentlemen, one of the most frightening eras of cricket started and cricket peaked. Thank you so much for watching.